2008 in production at the NWU, lecturers have seen the advantages of using the LMS, and they started developing electronic forms of this study guide using all different types of systems that they bought. Adobe Edge, Captivate, and whatever. Everybody used whatever they wanted to use. Some people also developed this stuff within Sakai. So we had the paper-based guides and the electronic guides. But the delivery of most of these things happened via Sakai. And early on we saw that we need to stick to standards to get this correct. The risk was that everything now was in Sakai, so that became the repository of all the study material, and this needed large storage space. We are looking at using OpenStack Swift as a place for storing all these guides, and we've actually already developed the integration of OpenStack and Sakai, but it is not implemented in production yet. And then the cloud hit and the scene became more of a mess. Some people started looking at all kinds of cloud services, and I named but two here, which is two of the products that we really had to look in depth. And that really has a lot of problems in keeping things together. If you think about analytics and lots of things, your problems just really escalate in that service. But looking at everything and what everybody was doing, we kind of summarized the needs that we saw. There were lots of paper-based study guides available in an electronic format, in a paper behind glass type of format, and people wanted the interactivity and so on. So we learned a lot of lessons, and I just want to summarize the needs in these 4 points. Especially students want their study material to be offline and available on all their devices. Lecturers must be able to easily add interactivity to this massive information that they already have in the paper guides. Integration with Sakai tools, they needed that. They got used to using assignments and lessons and assignments and tests and quizzes and forums and all kinds of stuff, and they wanted this integrated within the study material. And they still wanted Sakai, or as we call it, Ifundi, which is our implementation of Sakai, to be the delivery platform for the study guides. But we soon realized that we can't force everybody in using lessons, all this, all that. So standards was the bottom line for our thinking going ahead. At IMS Global, we saw that most learning platforms, also Sakai, accept IMS apps. So this is where we kind of looked ahead. And we took the EduClub technology architecture of IMS Global, studied that, and built our own technology architecture, which looks something like that. With Sakai, or the LMS, in the middle of things, integrated into VSS, which is our student information system, we decided that we need to take with whatever is created in terms of study material, whether it's third-party tools used in the process, as long as it is in an acceptable standard and uploaded into Sakai, or whether it's lessons which are used to create study material. That we want to be able to take that via an offline, via an app, which we call Ifundi Move, the Move being a mobile offline version. That's what the Move stands for. to a device, and we decided on the EPUB 3 format because then the readers, any reader for any device, can read it because it sticks to standards. We have not developed an eBook reader. We use the 3 that I indicated there on the right. Well, we test with those 3, but many other EPUB 3 readers can also be used by students. And then, of course, the analytics we want to have a look at, and we want to have a look at e-learning repository where e-learning stuff can be stored, but that's dreams at this stage. We've started looking at those, but we haven't got anything in production yet. If we look at what we have done, a lesson being developed there, and you'll see this picture again and again. Another page within the lesson, a video within the lesson. The development we've done is those 3 in the bracket there, and I'll talk a bit about that. The one that we're going to use further on in this specific presentation is the export for offline reader. I just want to mention the other 2. The export to MS Word is taking the lesson and putting and exporting that to a Word document. That is for the process and the management of the study material that I spoke about earlier on the SMP. We are redoing that system, and we call it tracks, to do the management of that. And translation and things like that are part of the quality control within the system. So we need this, the Word document for other purposes as well. And then, of course, for the modules or courses that still need paper-based guides, you can then develop online in lessons, and then also have your study material go offline via a MS Word and printed format in the end. Because we do have a lot of students which do not have connectivity, and they still do need paper guides. A new functionality that we are testing at the moment, it's not in production yet, is the import of the Word file into lessons, which will allow lecturers to develop in Word, which is a very familiar environment for them, as well as use the vast amount of study material that already exists within the MS Word space, so that we can quickly import them and then just put in the interactivity within the lessons tool. If we choose the export for offline reader here, it actually exports the file, and the file gets put into the resources tool of the specific site that the lesson is created in. And there's just a side by side of the lesson within Sakai and the eBook on a mobile phone. Now, I hope this year goes well. This is a video of what happens on the mobile phone. In short, let me talk you through while I play the video. The student has to log in to the app. The app gets downloaded. The app gets downloaded from the Play Store or the the iStore. We also have it developed for a Windows environment. So the student needs to log in. He gets presented with a list of his modules. When he chooses a module, the tools within that module is displayed, and the framework, oops, sorry, that wasn't going to happen. And then the student logs in again. Sorry about that. There he chooses his site. Within Ifumi, the little red cloud up there indicates that this specific site's resources has not been synchronized yet and is now busy synchronizing. Only the framework or the structure of the resource will get synced or synchronized. Oh, sorry about that. Was a bit. I'll just trace it. There you can see that the whole resources is there, and that they can choose which files to download. They can also do a download all. When the structure is in sync, the little cloud up there is green. Now we've clicked on download and the file is actually downloading. Just trace that a bit, otherwise it adds a bit long. It shows them the size so they can actually see if they're in a Wi-Fi area, they can download it or whatever. Open it with the app on the phone when they choose to open it. And there it is within Gitten in this specific example. You'll see the same little picture. You can use the functions of the specific reader that you're using, for instance, making notes or doing highlights whenever you want to. We'll now just show there's the video within the, you also saw within the lesson itself. Just to show you now that the Wi-Fi, we switched that off, also the mobile data, to show that it is fully offline. And there the video is still playing. You can still page around. If you open a PDF, the link is just below the video. It is also embedded within the EPUB 3 as the video, and that will also show in the offline mode. What we are testing at the moment is two more functionalities, the announcements and the schedule within Sakai. So that also synchronizes to your offline app. That's all from me. Thank you so much.
There is a question. Victor asked, on the embedded video, is it stored on Sakai or on a different location?
It is stored within the app, not in a different. What we have done with videos is we have actually decided on a size. I think it's 300 megabytes. If it's smaller than that, it actually also downloads as part of the synchronized, or as part of the download of the EPUB 3 file. Otherwise, it is just kept as a link, and you need to go online if you want to have a look at the video. Did that answer the question?
It looks like it. Now we have another question from Adam Marshall. What do you do about pages that contain JavaScript when creating the ebook?
I'm not sure, Adam. I'm sorry. I am not sure. I'll have to come back to you on that one. I have your email address from the previous session.
He said okay.
Thank you.
Are there other questions? Oh, we have another question from Linda. What student feedback have you received on the app?
Very positive feedback. We are only in a pilot with the current app, and that only synchronizes resources. The other tools haven't been added at this stage in production, but the students love it. In South Africa, we have very real bandwidth issues. It's really expensive. So I think in our context, it's even more important for students to have stuff available offline.
Oh, and we have another question from Adam. So the students don't have to log on each time, or do they?
No, they don't have to. No, they do not have to log on each time, only once. And then they'll have to log out if somebody else wants to log in on the same device. So it's only logging in the first time.
And Adam said he gets it, thanks. And Linda said we have the same issue with our military students on destroyers or submarines, so this would be great.
That's wonderful. If Linda wants to talk to us, that would be very nice. And we use, I think Adam mentioned Open Collab. He said about a company in South Africa developing. We are using them. That's Open Collab. And but we and UNISA work together on some of the stuff that we developed. They use the same engine that we do for doing this, and for also taking things offline. I don't know if you know UNISA. They only have distance students. So also up in Africa, and so a lot of students, I think 350,000 plus students. And they issue them with offline material as well. And they use the same background stuff to do what they need to do. They issue their students with a thing called digibands. It's like a flash drive in the form of these bands that the kids wear on their arms. But we use the same engine. So we work together in that, and what we pay for, of course, we will also make available to anybody in the community, and we would love to work together with other people in developing this further.
Okay, there's another question from Neil. Is the data being downloaded to the mobile device via a Wi-Fi connection or via a phone connection?
Via a Wi-Fi connection, if one exists. Otherwise, through the data data provider connection. That's why we present the students with the size of the files, so that they know how much data they have available when they when they decide to download a file.
And Nico Bard said that, hi, he'd also like to work with you. He's head of e-learning at WITS. And he said, please contact me. We are also working with Open Collab.
Okay, that's wonderful. We'll do that.
And we have 1 minute, 45 seconds if anyone else wants to ask questions. Oh, Linda said, great presentation. Thank you.
Thank you so much for the opportunity.
And Adam Marshall said he thought that a Sky Mobile SIG should be formed.
I think so. I think that's a really good idea, because I think everywhere the need for taking things offline is jumping up.
And Adam said there's a lot of disparate activity. And Sharon Combs Eisen, I can't see the rest of her name, said, thanks for the great information.
Thank you so much.
And Neil Herzog said that, thank you, this was eye-opening.
Thanks a lot. Thanks from me, and I hope we'll have a great virtual conference further on. I think it's really working well. It's a strange time for us, though. It's almost 7 at night for us now, so
oh my gosh.
We'll be here till midnight to hear Chuck speak.
Oh my goodness.
But that's fun.
Well, that's the end of our time. Thanks for everyone for attending. Thank you, Adele.
Thanks a lot. Bye-bye.